the committee meetings, December 2nd, 2025, to order for the Abbeville City Council, 5:21 PM. Kathy, we don't usually do a roll call committee meetings. I will turn the gavel over to Councilman Francis Plaisance, Chair of the Finance Committee.
Finance Committee is in order. Steve, we turn it over to you.
All right.
Yeah, I spent half a day looking at that budget. My eyes took tricks on it.
We're introducing the budget to the council. You will be approving it at your next council meeting. After 10 days of public notice. What we have today is in the report up on page 2 of the report, which is page 3 of the slide. We have the combined budget for the general fund and the special revenue fund for the city. The total revenues for the current year 2026 calendar year, the general fund revenues is going to be budgeted at 1.8 million, with 387 taxes, license and permits about 639,000, intergovernment revenues 185, and then fines 58,000, and miscellaneous other income 531,000. For your special revenue funds, this includes the sales tax fund, major revenue source is the taxes is 6.2 billion for the company, which is about a 1% increase over last year, this past year, which was right around 1% over the year before. So sales tax has held steady over the last several years with slight increases. Our intergovernmental revenues in the special revenue funds is 106,000. So your total revenue there is 6.3 billion. So combining there, you have about just over $8 million of revenue for the city. In the expenditures for the general fund, this includes the government operations, public safety, which is your police and fire, highway and streets, and then the parks and recreation as well. Total expenses in the general fund, about 12.4 million on the operation. Your general government, which includes city, court, airport, tax and license, administrative, the mayor and council, civil service, that's 2.5 million, which is about 20% of the overall expenses. Public safety, your police, they're going to have just over $4 million. Same with the fire. They're going to have about a $4 million budget. Those combined is $8 million of the 12 million the city will spend this coming year. That's about 2/3 of your budget is on public safety. Highway and streets, we're spending in the budget with projection 1.3 million, just over 10%. And then your parks and recreation about 437,000, which is less than just over 5%. So that leaves you within the general fund over a deficit of about $10 million, 10.6. But you take in monies from your special revenue funds and savings, and we bring in $10 million in the budget. So we project that would be short still 600,000. But you have fund balances from the previous year to cover that. The previous fund balance is 2.5 million. So if we're short 600,000 in the 2026 budget, you're using up about 25%, 1/4 of your reserves in the general fund. On the special revenue side, we had the revenue set at 6.3 million, and our expenses just for which is mostly capped out every day, 620,000. That's 5.7 million of surplus available just from the sales tax revenue, and that gives you transferring almost $6 million into the general fund. Now, the difference between the 6 million coming from the sales tax fund and the general fund, 10 million, is your utility fund. You're getting money from there. But since that's a utility, it does have to be budgeted in the sense it's not legislatively required, so we don't include it in this section of the budget. But that's where the shortfall is coming from, the utility fund. But we still foresee spending about 293,000 more. The expenses and the special revenue funds are taken in the current 2026 year, which is about 13% of the fund balance, the 2.3 million from the beginning of the year. So I'll leave you about $2 million left over. So that's, you're spending a little bit more this coming year, and I would say a lot of that is we now have your police force is full staff, so that's, and then health insurance. We talked about that last meeting when I was here for the third quarter. The health insurance costs have continued to go up at a higher rate than say your other revenue sources are coming up. So we do have that in the budget. We're seeing that has a negative effect in the current year and project that the next year as well. But you do have monies available to cover that, we just have to plan for the future.
Continue to work.
So that's the overview. I don't know, if the mayor, copies of the budget will be available tomorrow. We're finalizing the hard copy, published today. The city is going to prioritize critical infrastructure investments in the coming year, while reducing reoccurring overhead costs or maintaining, keeping them in line. Currently, the city hires about 150 employees of the community. It's a significant employer for this community. And the city is still in the budget proposing a 2% pay raise at the annual pay raise that occurs each year for employees. And I can tell you that most municipalities don't have a reoccurring raise for their employees. The city has been holding true to that for the last several decades.
We're mandated by state law to give the 2% to fire and police, and we give to the rest of the employees as long as the budget allows to match what we give to fire and police.
And so again, we're going to monitor the healthcare costs and see what we can do there. We have to make some changes as far as deductibles, what portion how the premiums are charged out, but there's going to have to be some adjustments there. That's what I have for you tonight.
Steve, I'd like to mention that not only good job that you do, but Lonnie did a very good job with each of us on that budget. So the review went well, and the work of you and the mayor on this, we're ready to proceed with public comment and a future meeting.
All right.
So Steve, you feel like that direction we're going now should stay pretty stable the year coming, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, you talk about the insurance.
we have some unknowns. We have increased the budget for the insurance, but not to some costs for this current year.
Right.
Because sometimes it's an outlier, but we have anticipated some increase over the previous year's original budget. So it's be a wait and see. But the city has, the administration and the departments have done a good job in the last several years to try to control costs where they can. Up there is one of those that's lost.
One of the things we've done is every year we've reduced the number of positions that we have, full-time positions, and we continue to work on that. That does over time help hopefully bring down the cost of healthcare because you have less bodies on the plan. So that, what we're going to look at this year is policy changes that might also help affect by effect lower the insurance costs overall to the city budget.
And department staffing reductions, that's how we get to a better number of people on the plan.
And the majority of those are actually by retirement. It's not that we are laying off in big numbers in any department, but not rehiring as people leave or retire.
So that makes our retirement costs go down too.
Not yet, but we hope it does over time. It hasn't yet. We haven't seen a reduction yet. We've seen a steady increase in, let me say this, we have less people on the payroll. We have more people on the city health plan insurance with less employees. So what's happening is we have a higher number of dependents and retirees on our healthcare, which is putting a heavy burden on the healthcare plans. So when I talk about policy changes, it's going to be recommendations on how we might eventually flip that number, right? Not immediately, it would happen over time, but it's something that we need to look at.
We do offer our employees an excellent insurance. Right, Councilman?
An excellent insurance that we can.
It is, and it's not Abbeville alone. There's a national insurance crisis, and we are part of that.
And every year we think we're going to have something that changes in our direction. It goes the opposite way. That's the nature of life, right? It's unfortunate. We are in a good financial place, but as you see, we are depleting our fund balances, trying to hold steady. And so when we have a high overage on overtime, like we did this year with the police department, or these large unexpected expenditures, we have to cut back in other areas, and we have sat there and dwindled down as much as we can to get the numbers as close to balance without the funds more than we already have to continue to pay our employees, give them the raises that they expect and we would like to give them, and continue to provide the health care and benefits that we are mandated by the state. So we don't have any control over that percentage, which also tends to go up quite a bit. So still good. It's still a good budget, but it's not the news we hope for. Any additional questions? Are you reading?
Additional questions on? Okay, this part of the meeting.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Steve. Great job. Appreciate it.
Okay. Next is the ordinance committee meeting chaired by Councilman Tony Hardy. You want to roll into that, Councilman?
Yes, ma'am.
City attorney? Notice you walked out. Go ahead. I know what it is. He'll be in here. You have your agenda. You need it.
We'll make a recommendation to the city council to adopt an ordinance at the regular city council meeting scheduled for December 16th, 2025 to approve the 2026 budget and the amended 2025 budget.
Okay. So we need to pass this motion. The city council, the committee needs to pass this motion in order to send the budget as proposed to the full council at our next meeting for formal adoption.
I move.
Second.
Call for any questions or comments?
I thought you would take it over.
No, it's your meeting.
All right.
Questions or comments?
Questions or comments from the audience? No questions?
None.
Questions from council? All in favor? All opposed?